And we are back with more What's Now. There's a new reality show called Love Off the Grid. And I recently had the opportunity to speak with Jen and Charlie, a couple in this show, about how their relationship tested the limits by being off the grid. Let's take a look. Today we are leaving luxury for love. Love Off the Grid is on Discovery Plus, and I'm speaking to featured couple Jen Taylor and Charlie Moore, all about their experiences of finding love off the grid. Jen and Charlie, how are you today? Thanks for joining us.
We're doing great. Thank you.
Morning.
So, Charlie, let's start with you. If someone isn't familiar with this show, kind of explain the premise, because it's something familiar but also very unique.
The premise is we have 4 homesteaders that live off the grid in their different lifestyles and have invited people that they've known before, or maybe they haven't known before, into that lifestyle out of their, quote, I guess you would say, posh lifestyle that they live and creature comfort to see if they can, hack it in the woods.
And Jen, what made you decide at the beginning to participate in a show like this?
I think it was just one of those things. Charlie and I's relationship was something that just crossed my path. I wasn't even thinking I'd ever even talk to him again, let alone be back in a relationship with him, because we had dated 28 years ago. And all of a sudden my life took this interesting turn, and then the opportunity for this show came about, and I was like, well, here we go. What's one interesting thing after another? I might as well say yes as opposed to saying no. And so we just I just decided, give it a shot. Who knows?
Charlie, this is a huge challenge because not only are you testing the relationship, but you are out in the elements, experiencing the limits of nature. Sounds very stressful all around. Tell me more about some of the challenges that you had.
You have your basic challenges living, on a mountain like that, just weather, woods, have all kinds of little critters in it, big critters and little critters. We have a lot of issues with the roads when the weather gets really bad. But just the challenge of living as simple as you can. It's very relaxing, more than I think that it is a super challenge. But it can be very difficult for someone who's not used to, being able to hop in the car and shoot down to the store really quick. So I would say that the biggest challenges was waking up and having stuff on your porch that you may not have on your porch in a normal situation.
And Jen, I have kind of the opposite question for you. What was really positive for you and the relationship in this experience, without saying too much, of course?
I think it was being in a situation that was so different than how I'm living or how I have been living. And also, there were so many of our daily distractions that we have, our phones, our computers, television, all of those things that we have on a regular basis. Out there it's really taken away, and so you're in a simple place, but you're in a quiet place. You have a lot of time to think. You have a lot of time to have a conversation with your partner and figure out things and get to know each other more. So that's the positive. I think that being free of distractions was a big positive about living out there for me.
And Charlie, I want to circle back. Jen mentioned that the two of you met when you were young, and I love that story. So tell me when you first spotted Jen.
I was actually had a summer job working on a golf course, and we used to shoot down to the pool recreation center to get water and whatnot through, in the middle of the golf course. And I saw Jen and her sisters at the pool, and went out there in my little maintenance uniform and asked them if they'd ever seen a waterfall. and they were like, nah. And I was like, well, let's go see a waterfall. And they said, yeah. And then that's how it all started. We just started doing stuff that you do in the country and riding through the woods and hanging out by the creeks and whatnot. And it ended up, that's where it all began.
Such a great story, and I love how you've reconnected 28 years later, and now you're doing this show. So looking forward to tuning into Love Off the Grid. It's streaming now on Discovery Plus. And thank you so much, Jen and Charlie, for joining me today. Really looking forward to watching this journey with you all. So thanks for your time
Christine.
today with us.
Thank you.